Sorry everyone, I forgot to unmute the desktop
Can't hear me?
so you guys could hear DBcade.
That says they can't hear me. Oh, okay. Okay, great. I'm glad you can hear me. So let me just do my intro one more time. So this is, I'll show the box one more time. Master Negima Neo Pactio fight. It's quite a rare and crazy anime fighter for the Wii. This is, yes, I'm doing another strange anime fighter. This one in particular is something that I really wanted to run in marathons. So I actually got a Wii, tracked down this game in box. And unfortunately, like InstaSpeedathon said, there's a small issue with my HD capture card for Wii. So he's not gonna be able to read out donations, but while the event's going on, while this run's going on, please be sure to donate and check out the link that was just posted in the chat. Let me go here to story mode. So the run that we do today is actually story mode. And I am expecting to get a PB today, or close to it. So the first off, the character that we'll be using today, I don't know if we had incentives or not, but if anyone in chat had a character they wanted me to use, I will actually make good on that and use the character if someone has a particular request. Okay, no problem. Okay, so it looks like I can use anyone. So I'm gonna go ahead and use Kufei. And Kufei-chan is probably the strongest character. She uses the Chinese Kung Fu techniques, and she's considered the strongest at the school. A lot of the characters in this game have different abilities like magic power and things like that. Well, we're pretty much going to hopefully blast through the run, and we will be doing easy mode today. I could be doing hard or difficult, but there is a chance of failure on that. Even on the easiest mode, this game is incredibly difficult. So before we start up, something really interesting about this game is that you actually get to choose which classmates are your support, and they increase your ability certain ways. So this game can be run in multiple ways, and I think that's what makes it an interesting party fighting game, is that you're not just locked down to one character. You can even make a character that can revive multiple times, that can restore their HP and do all sorts of frankly very broken things. So I'll just explain the supports real quick. So the way this game works is that you can pick up these shiny white cards. They're the most important items, so I just want to explain that real quick. And when you do that, you can basically transform into one of three modes. So this is the cosplay mode, and then it says I will absolutely transform into the cosplay mode is what this support will do. And then I'm also using a character that basically makes my skills, my martial arts moves, are going to do 2 times the damage that they do, on top of already doing a lot of damage. So it's a pretty good setup. The other modes I can actually turn into after that ability, because you can only get that ability once, or is the armored mode, which is basically to use super. And then there's one ability which is called the Suka type, Suka type is kind of like Hazure, it's like miss. So I don't want to turn that. If I turn into a little cat or chibi version of myself, you'll know that something's gone wrong and that I got very unlucky. But that can happen to the other characters too. You do get a defense bonus in that mode, but that is it. Anyway, the run is going to start when I hit this yes button. So I'm going to do the countdown in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. And this game is, like I said, it's extremely crazy. So time is going to end when I get to the last stage against a giant plant monster. Don't ask me what's going on, because I am still trying to figure it out myself. But this game's all about the fighting and what's going on. So you see there's a card right in the center. So the first thing we're going to do is, luckily we also have some of the best speed in the game. So we're going to run and transform into our Kung Fu mode. And what we want, the best ideal situation is everybody's grouped up in the same area, and we can use our rush punch to do a ton of damage. Sometimes the characters will get hard knockdown, and unfortunately we can't do anything during that. This game, you'll basically see I have a green gauge. That is my health gauge, and then the blue gauge is my meter. So the thing about this game is you cannot restore meter very quickly. So a good strategy here is to make sure that you have meter ability set. But because we do so much damage, we can kind of ignore that, and we're actually getting really good RNG. So one other strange thing that can happen in this game is that please don't turn into a cat. Okay, I didn't. Is that mini games can happen, and you really want to win the mini games, because usually winning them means that you will regain health. So the AI will aggressively try and beat you in the mini games. So when a mini game comes, usually it means I'll lose time. But I should be able to get rid of this opponent right now. So she won, so she's going to gain just enough health. Oh wow, she gained half health, okay. So now we kind of have to just camp the enemy here. Actually, you have quite a number of moves in your arsenal. So I have Rush Punch, I have Energy Shot, I have Quick Jab, which actually can combo 3 times, and I have Grab, which I can actually grab items on the screen and throw them. Other characters don't have the same moves. Everybody has their own individual moveset. The character I'm actually fighting right now, she's really only good in her powered up mode. She can kind of do damage, but not as much as you'd think. So there we go, we won the match. So basically that's how the normal stages go, is that you'll fight other characters, and then in between you might have a mini game. And like I said, you don't want to see what happened was the AI won the mini game and restored their health. So it's often that could happen. I got unlucky and I ran out of mana, and so I had to go through the untransformation again, like kind of power down, and there's nothing you can do during that. You are completely invincible when you transform and when you power down, but you can't move or do anything. So if your timing's bad, you could just be stuck. This is the most annoying stage in the game. There are stage hazards in every game. Unfortunately, this stage is, as you can see, the wheels are turning, and so the characters will tend to walk inside the cogs. The good thing is we can actually knock characters off this stage. So the best situation would be is if, well, not we knock ourselves off, but we knock other characters off. And we're not going to go ahead and get the card yet, because we want to use all our energy first this round, and then we'll transform. Because don't forget, we still have that card that lets us absolutely win. So Negima is in his armored form, and the really annoying thing about armored form is not the fact that you have super, it's that you're completely invincible. But Negi is actually a pretty annoying character to fight against. Alright, we're almost out of energy, so now we're going to transform. And since we're going in our cosplay mode, we get full energy, and we do extra damage. We're actually doing quite a bit of damage, but this mode you're actually supposed to use, this stage you should use Energy Punch more, so we might actually try and use it to our advantage. But we're going to go ahead and win this minigame. This minigame, basically you have to collect coins that drop down. And if you hit, doing damage against the opponent basically allows you to knock the coins out of the opponent and then win the minigame. But we'll probably see a minigame in every single stage this run. There's actually a separate mode where you have to, it's just mini games, but the story mode and the arcade mode are the main things in this. Alright, so we're going to transform and hopefully we get a good... Okay, see, I'm the cat now. So this is the worst mode to get in the game. So unfortunately, we cannot power down until our mana goes completely down, or we throw ourselves off the stage. So usually when I get into that mode, I will purposely jump off the stage. And we're actually doing pretty good on time right now. Negi's being a little bit of a difficult character, but let's go ahead and use energy shot and hope he just gets cosplay mode, but looks like he got super mode. So Negi's super is a giant energy beam that hits pretty much the whole stage. So as long as Negi decides to use it in a different area, we'll be okay. But it looks like Negi jumped off. Another move we have, you can see that Kufei-chan's jump is actually really long in this game. Okay, we got the power-up. Which one's it going to be? Okay, good. This is my super mode, so I'm completely invincible. And then we're going to use our ultimate attack and KO Negi in one hit. Her ultimate attack's pretty hard to use. You have to be right next to the opponent. But it's so strong that we can pretty much do half damage to any character that we touch in range. Everyone's super attack has a lot of utility. You have to know your character and whether you have to use it from long range or close range. There are some The World moves and Ora, broken stand attacks in this game. Alright, we're going to chase down with energy attack and try and go for the win here. We should get her on the respawn, and there we go. We won the match. Yeah, a little bit of a difficult stage here, but it happens. All right, we did really good on points that match. There are unlockables in this game, but they're all pretty much like cards or special photos. Negi, the Negi anime has a history with, I guess it's borderline ecchi and things like that. So I'm not too familiar with it, but some of the pictures are kind of they're definitely a little sus that you unlock, but I think overall the game is really fun, so I try and overlook that part. This stage is actually my favorite stage because this is where Kufei tends to shine, and she can knock off herself, but also the other enemies if I get a good shot here. And it's a team battle, so it's a lot less to manage. Luckily we got an energy item. The energy items are shaped like these triangle boxes, and then you have the Nikuman that come out that are health items. So you'll see right now that the samurai girl we're fighting, she's actually really strong, so we don't want to let her get too close to us. She can do half damage in a combo. Some other characters, like Kufei, even though she has like Kung Fu, can't actually combo very well. None of her moves actually connect properly. Alright, so this is the break stuff minigame that we saw in the first stage. But luckily, our AI is going to do all the work for us, and we can focus on just rush punching the enemy. Another thing about this game is, like, these bookshelves, a lot of things are actually breakable on the stage after a set number of hits. We haven't got any cards that come out. That might be a good thing. And I'm trying to go for. I'm okay with pushing myself off because I'm hoping that I take her down with me. But I transform now, which means it's pretty much a guaranteed attack. See there, I do so much damage now. I can pretty much finish things off in one hit. So all I have to do is stand up and camp, and I'm hoping that Negi does not use his beam, but it looks like he did and he kill-stilled me, but we're on the same team, so I'll forgive it for now. That beam does 75% damage, by the way, and it lasts a very, very long time. It's probably the best super in the game. You can change your assist in between each round, but it's not necessary. I mean, unless there's specific stages where you think items aren't going to come out, I think that it's complete. This now, here's the stage where it's kind of crazy. You have to keep eating. I haven't lost this stage yet, and I'm hoping I don't like curse myself here and cause myself to make a mistake. But basically, you'll see that random items will spawn, and you have to keep eating the items, and when you reach 0, you'll lose health. So you want to keep getting these snacks, and eventually someone's not going to get them. It's kind of like first come, first serve. So some characters will eventually drop down to 0, and you absolutely don't want to get frozen. So you'll see there's those crystals that form, and there are also beams and bombs that come. It's just a crazy stage. This is the main mini-game stage of story mode, and it's an absolute nightmare. It really, really is quite something else. So you can see that I think Saki is about to go to... Oh, she picked up a little bit of health. Unfortunately, we got froze now, so I'm going to do my best. Oh, thank you for hitting me out of that. It was so nice of you. It's a little bit I mean, you can try and guess, but the problem is the ice beams that come down from the sky are almost impossible to predict. Luckily, we picked up 3 out of the 4 dim sum buckets that appeared, so we should be in the running to get a good set here. Uh-oh. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone, cat creature. Okay. I actually don't know what happens if you lose the stage. I think you can still go on. Oh, there we go. We got one. I think we just have to... Oh my... See, here's the problem. It's right on top of where the ice was. So I have to just be patient sometimes, because the game tries to trick you and make you feel like you can get all the health pickups. You can attack in this mode, but it only stun locks for a split second, and actually you're completely still during that mode, so it's not recommended at all. 2, 1. Oh, we didn't get the last pickup. That was a little cheap. So I'm curious what's going to happen here. I think you just have to live. I think that's the condition for this stage. There's people on Nico Nico that play this game for fun, but there aren't any other speedrunners for it because it's a pretty risky game to play. It took a while for me to route, just because there's seems to be a lot of confusion in the game, even amongst like, you know, fans of the game, but what the best combination is. So, and I would, that's why I still feel like you can run anyone in this game, because you'll see later, like, you see this girl with the bat. That bat is extremely strong. Like, don't underestimate how much range that has and how much damage that does. Everyone in this game does way more damage. You have to use different move sets. It's kind of you can think of it as like a risk versus reward. That's kind of how this game works. Unfortunately, when you transform, you're pretty much invincible in certain modes. So that looks like it's armor mode. Another thing about having mana that I didn't mention is why I've been making sure to get pickups is if you don't get mana in this game, your damage decreases quite significantly. So I think a common mistake in this game is to worry about HP. But if you focus just on HP, you won't end up doing damage. Luckily, we got cosplay mode, so. And yes, the mini game in this one is to knock out other enemies, these little enemies that come, and eventually this little center section here will become unbalanced and very difficult to stand on. Later on, the side platforms will also disappear. This is definitely a difficult stage to fight on at the first time because you're just gonna fall off a lot. I don't know who got. It looks like I didn't get the power up, so I'm hoping you turn into a cat. Okay, that's very good. By the way, I'm not sure if it's completely a cat. I'm just calling it a cat. We can call it a creature if you want. The character you just saw with the whip, she actually has a lot of trap techniques. And then the character with the bat is just a strength character, kind of like the samurai girl, but she has a lot of power and a lot of knockout ability, so she can ring out very, very, very easily. So that's the super mode. So I jumped on purpose there because it's in my best interest to just avoid that super at all costs. You cannot jump up to the top there, unfortunately. So even though I'm being taunted with the mana heal, I'm not gonna be able to go out there. And yes, the AI sometimes will jump off. Even on the hardest mode, this stage seems to really get the AI. Nice, we jumped off at the end. It saves actually quite a bit of time. We don't have to watch the ending pose. Alright, stage 6. This is the evil plant monster, if I remember it correctly. So I want to say that I'm on 21 minutes is my best time. So we unfortunately got a really bad second stage. But if there's certain timings where you can hit this boss, and you're going to see that if the HP bar is bright green, it means we can run up and punch this thing. And then what's going to happen is this boss is then going to have a small framed window where it can then, can be attacked again ever so slightly. And actually what you can do is you can pick up these bombs that will eventually spawn down below, and what you're supposed to do is throw it toward the boss, and then you'll get a giant chain explosion. This is absolutely the most random boss I've ever fought in a fighting game. 100%. It came out of nowhere. Alright, we haven't got the bomb spawns yet, which is unfortunate. I'm getting trolled a little bit. The boss is not really giving me anything to work with. I don't want to get the card item yet because I want to save that when the boss is low health. And eventually the boss is going to come out of that hole there and try and do some major damage to me. We're so close. We're so close. Oh! Okay. So I didn't ever talk about this character because she never pops off, but the character in the bottom corner there, she has this move. Oh no. Did we lose? I guess I didn't have enough health. I didn't even notice. I didn't feel like I got hit that much. Yeah, we'll go again. We're still good. So yeah, the tennis girl, she has this move that doesn't really work on like a normal game because you can just avoid it, but she can summon tennis balls that will hit wherever you're standing exactly. And so for the final boss, she can pretty much, the AI, if they want to cooperate, they can just spam that move, and she'll get hit over and over again. Unfortunately, what's happening here also is the AI is hitting the boss before I am, and I do way more damage than everyone else. Like, you can't compare the amount of damage I do. Okay, great. So the enemy became big right now. That's what I want, so I can do rush punch. Unfortunately, the enemy's throwing... For some reason, everyone's decided to actually do work today and pick up their boxes and throw them at the boss. That doesn't do the most damage in this game. See, my energy shot does infinitely more damage. The boss is going to try and grab sometimes. All you have to do is sidestep out of the way. It's very, very easy. The pattern that was on before, that move where the little bullets come off from behind, kind of like the boss is a Gundam, that move's extremely dangerous. All right, so we're not gonna get world record, but we're very, very close. Thank you for the health, I think. Sometimes what happens is the AI decides to do what you just saw. Go stand in the corner and do absolutely nothing. I can't... This is also one of the few bosses I can combo on, but we have to get the boss down to lower health before it will come out and decide to attack normally. Yeah, unfortunately my aiming's not that good, and I keep missing the energy shot. You see there's a small window when the boss gets up. Alright, here we go. So here's when things get really interesting. Okay. Apparently we all got sat on. Alright, my AI decided just to stand next to a boss that can KO you in one hit. This is definitely clippable because this is like the perfect example of like AI who don't want to listen or help. Okay, this is really good. So we got the bomb set now, and the bomb, basically what we want to happen is we wanted the boss to come close to the bombs. Don't flatten me. Where am I? Oh god. We need health. There we go. Okay. Yeah, in the record that I have in this game, what happened was I set off the bombs, and bombs do about 25% of the boss's health, so we comboed the time bomb into another bomb, and the boss got completely wiped. I have no health. This is terrifying. I'm gonna go ahead and transform here. I should have a cosplay transformation, and I had invincibility during that. We're gonna get health, and we're gonna run out of here. Okay, there we go. Finally, GG. That's time. That was the worst boss fight I've had. But it was still really good. Anything sub 25 is fine for this game. But I'm definitely gonna go clip this later because I've never had the AI just all walk up to the boss and get smushed before. But It happens. Yeah, there's not much else to talk about in this game. You get quizzes at the end of the game. They usually pertain to the game or the series itself. I'm not necessarily familiar with that. 33の面白い白い猫は、-5 かな. Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, that's a good time. Yeah, that's a great time. I think that's still well underestimate. So yeah, there's no real other remarks I wanted to make. I'm glad I got to show off Negima Neo Pactio fight. This marathon I got to show off some crazy anime fighters. Again, if you're interested, definitely give me a follow on Twitch, or if you go to any of the anime sites on speedrun.com, you can pretty much go to the Anime Speedrun Discord, and the community has grown tremendously over the past month and a half. We've got close to 500 members in there, and we're all kind of speedrunning each other's games. So it's extremely exciting time. So I hope you enjoyed today. I know this is a little bit of a hard game to follow, but I'm hoping to make this kind of a main staple game, and I hope I hope it was entertaining. So it's definitely crazy. It's definitely the craziest game I run. I could talk a lot more about the characters, but I know that we will have a bunch of other runners waiting. So that's all from me. Thank you again, the InstaSpeedathon staff and everybody, for having me. It was a lot of fun, and see you next time. Hopefully I'll see you on my stream.